Welcome to Community with Closers. I'm your host, Pat Clark, and this is where closers are born. Get ready for high-energy stories, game-changing strategies, and the relentless pursuit of success. In each episode, we dissect the art of sealing the deal, celebrate triumphs, and explore the grit that defines salesmanship. This is the ultimate podcast for sales warriors ready to conquer the business battlefield. What's going on, guys? Pat Clark here with another amazing Community with Closers. And boy, do we have a show for you tonight. We got Mr. Exquisite in the house. Brandon, what is going on, brother?
Hey, Pat, you know what it is, man. I'm in the house tonight, Mr. Exquisite, just here. Thank you for the invite. March Madness is here. The bees is buzzing. So we out. The trucks are moving. We getting to work, man.
I love it, dude. I love it. It is, man. This is our favorite time of the year, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is always exciting, man. The phone is ringing. We out and the weather's changing. So it's nothing like seeing that pollen drop and people complaining.
Exactly. That's right. And we got it here in North Carolina, South Carolina, man. It's like it's snowing out here when the pollen starts falling. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Good deal, man. Well, I want to kick it off, man, with Community with Closers. You know how we do. It's all about sales. It's all about giving back to the community. And I know you love doing that. You do that a lot. And so I want to start off, man, with your story, kind of like how you got into it and launching it. You know, we'll talk a little bit about starting the year strong. We'll kind of roll into that. But, man, if you can kick it off with your, how you got into it, a little bit about you, your background.
Yeah, man. I got into pressure washing about 2013. My brother was here from Atlanta, and he wanted to start a pressure washing business with his tax money. So I was like, cool, whatever. You know what I mean? I was into I had a tax office at the time. So I was like, all right, let's do it. When he got his tax money, he got his check and he went back to Atlanta. So I kept the business, man. You know what I mean?
He's like, I'm out.
Yeah, he's like, I'm out. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna keep rocking with it. But I didn't really start, taking it serious until years later.
Mm-hmm.
I had a kid at the time. I was working at UPS, and I was like, this ain't working for me. So I started getting out pressure washing. And over time, it just grew. You know what I mean? But like I said in the beginning, I wasn't real serious about it. But when I went through like hard times, you know what I mean? Like when December and January roll around, things would get slow. It was always pressure washing. You know what I mean? That paid the bills. That helped out when I was on hard times. So, over the years, I was like, man, I got to get serious. You know what I mean? Make some money and put some more money into it. And then I let all the other businesses go and just started full-time pressure washing, and it started going to conventions and started coming to see you speak, see people like Carlos speak. And,
yes,
then I really started getting the information I needed to really, take it to the next level.
Yeah. It's amazing, man, like how we changed, because I was right there with you. You know what I mean? Wintertime was hard. It was rice and beans. And, man, we waited for March. Like, we waited, right? Because January and February, they're dead. Nobody's thinking about it. And you really got to tweak your marketing towards those people. Like, I always call them procrastinators. You know what I mean? Like, they're the ones you got to kick in the pants to make them, get it done in January and February. But it was only 10 years ago, we're doing $12,000 maybe in, February.
Right.
And, that's paying the guys, paying all the things, and plus paying for marketing to launch in March. And it was tough.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And I think a lot of people go through that. And I think this year too, man, we have a lot of people that are like, I was just on Marketplace. I'm thinking about selling my reclaim unit because we only used it like, I don't know, 10 times, you know what I mean, in 18 years. And so I was on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm like, holy cow, there's so many rigs and trailers for sale.
Yep.
And, it's hard. It definitely is harder now than it was, I feel like, 10 years ago for businesses.
Oh yeah.
Um, but what are you kind of seeing like this year and last year? What are you kind of seeing there as far as like how are you kind of staying above the float, if you will?
Well, the difference between last year and this year, we had a lot more business in the off season. Um, my wife did cold calls. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Like, yeah, we have over 3,000 customers. So, she just sit at home and call. She was pregnant. She was
Yes.
calling. You know what I mean? And they was like, hey, uh thanks for doing this. I wanted to do it and didn't get around to it. And we were just raking in customers that haven't, had their house washed in a while.
Hmm.
And a lot of them that booked then went on and booked for the spring.
Nice.
So, it that's one of the changes that we had. So yeah, this between last year and this year, I have to say that it has been one of the best and most profitable off seasons that we've had here at Exquisite.
Got it. That's awesome. Heck yeah, man. So, what were some of the things that you did kind of like to set yourself apart in the beginning as far as like getting a jump on it? Like, where's your mindset at? And like, what does it take, right, to like launch in March? Because the phones start ringing, but what do you got to do to really make sure it's a successful year?
Well, it's of course, it starts before March. It really starts at the beginning of January. We're into December, beginning of January. I
Yes.
go out. I usually, I use a lot of road signs, and just going city to city. I load up my truck, and we go out and we put road signs out. Um, Another thing that we do is we might run an off season special, where
Hmm.
call now and book during the off season, and get a percentage off, so you don't have to worry about booking in spring when it's peak season and everybody's calling.
Yep.
um so that's one of the main things that we do. For also on Facebook, yeah, Facebook ads. We pick
Nice.
those up, and that helps a lot.
Hmm.
Really targeting um, certain neighborhoods, certain areas that meet our price match that we're trying to do.
Yep.
Um, we're not gonna when we put the signs out, we're not gonna take them to a $500,000 house neighborhoods. You know what I mean? In those areas, we're
Yep.
going to put them where the people could actually afford what we're trying to promote. And I mean, flood their gas station, flood their Walmart area, get
Yes.
their zip code, and put it on Facebook. First thing people get up, they checking Facebook. So if they say anything about power washing or pressure washing, then it's gonna pop up. You know what I mean? Get
Yes.
ready to leave and go to the gas station and get their gas in the morning, or go to Starbucks, get their morning coffee. They're gonna see that same sign. They're gonna get
That's
tired of
right.
it. So you know what? I might as well just call. Like, I need it done anyway.
Yep. Getting strategic with them yard signs. That way they get, see you online, see you in the mail, and then boom, you're getting them because it takes like 7 times for somebody to call, right? It keeps going up every year. It's
Right.
funny. It
Yeah.
used to be like, 5 times. Now it's
Five
seven
touches.
times.
Now it's seven. Yeah.
They just want us to spend more money on marketing. That's what it is.
That's definitely what it is. But it's so much competition, so many more people that's doing what we're doing now that you know what I
Yeah.
mean. That's probably what hey, you got to add a little extra to it if you want to get in front of these people.
You do. Yeah. It definitely comes down with your message, brand, that kind of stuff. And I love your brand. That's kind of jumps me into the next question is like, you have to have a good brand and you promote, right? And so with your brand being out there in your area, um, what do you think, like going to the conventions and your brand, what are some things that you took away from a convention, that you could implement right away or you did implement right away?
Mm. What we just went over was a big one. Those 5 touches back then. I learned that
Yeah.
from a convention. Um, and after I left the convention, I went out and got Sin Gym at the time was a real big thing. My yard signs together, my Facebook together, um, knocking on doors, doing cold calls, so I could have my touches. Um, Another thing that I learned, from being in the convention is just, it's people, it's thousands of power washing companies,
Mhm.
people, but the people, they spend their money with who they like. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So if you really have a good attitude, you study your craft and really educate yourself so you can educate your customers.
Mhm.
Um, and don't just try to take their money. You know what I mean? Like really let them know what's going on, and talk to them about what they're getting done. That's really what I took from those conventions, and really being a people person, learn how to communicate and have excellent customer service, because people spend their money with who they like. And if you know what you're talking about, you do a good job, it'll take you a long way. So that's something I really took away from being at the conventions and stuff.
I love that. Yeah, because it's mindset too. You know what I mean? Like knowing where you got to go, and if others did it, you're like, I can do it too, and that helps out a lot.
Right, definitely.
So real quick, I want to share my screen. I got a PowerPoint, and you probably remember this PowerPoint right here. Um,
Yep.
you remember this one, right?
Yes, sir.
Let me get okay, cool. Yeah, because this is like starting the year strong, and this is back. We have 2015. And let me pull. Let me go back to it right here. So, and this was 13. And so just a short time later, like 13 to 15 was a big, it was a different time. Like look how many trucks we have here. And I remember, man, like we had to buy 5 vehicles in 1 year. It was crazy. That's sales vehicles. That was, sales. I'm sorry, sales vehicles and work trucks. But the people don't realize I maxed out 2 credit cards. We literally had bad credit. I had to pay for the vehicles with cash. And then we started doing like commercial. And the commercial really helped out because that was like money in the bank. Like the residential was paying the bills. And then it was, you know, basically commercial was paying for the growth of the company. Have you seen that with your business?
Yeah, yeah. Basically, like you said, the residential pays the bills. It takes care of the everyday ins and outs, and the commercial with the net 15s and net 30s that you have to wait on it. It always is always good on the back end to carry the load.
Yes. So when was the part of your business that you started getting into like commercial?
Um, that was about, let me see, so about 2013, 20. That was about 2018, 2019. Is when I really started. I was already doing some commercial, but
Yep.
in 2018, 2019 is really started doing a lot of commercial work.
Nice.
Really just what I learned, like the touches, and um I learned from Ray Burke wife Tanya to go take snacks and goodies and donuts and everything to the commercial, like apartment complexes and stuff. So I use it to my advantage. You know what I mean? Most apartment complexes, most women work there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I would go take flowers. You know what I mean? Every woman loves flowers, so they'll take flowers in there and take like little gift cards and stuff like that. And they would just they was I won them over with my charm. You know what I mean? It wasn't even really about the power washing. It was like, he's a nice guy. I want to give him a chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I got the job, we did good work. So they referred me to their sister properties, and we would go out there, and I would just keep the same routine going. You know what I mean? Just being me. You know what I mean? Just being a nice
Yep.
guy. Just, you know what I mean? Trying to help.
Yeah. Give me the chance, but you showed up when you wanted, when you said you were going to show up, you had something there and you were being unique. Not everybody shows up with flowers. You know what I mean? They're doing handmade cookies, you know what I mean? They're doing those kinds of things. And so you definitely set yourself apart for that. And then they're like, yeah, let's try them out. And then you did good work. And then boom, like you said, it spreads like wildfire once you really get in. And they're like, yeah, set up the sister property. Let's get that done. So how long did you do that for? Because I know sometimes it drops off, right? Like you hand out the things, then you get busy, and you're like, shoot, like I gotta hand out more flowers.
Right. I'm stuck because you keep handing out flowers. Now I'm handing out edible arrangements and giving
Yep.
out $100 gift cards at Christmas time for bikes for kids and stuff. So it
Yep.
yeah, it definitely it slows down. You know what I mean? Um, but they keep calling. But like you said, it after about 2021. You know what I mean? It slowed down. I didn't even think about that till you said it though, but it definitely, yeah. I haven't been in
Yep.
the office to drop off flowers in a while.
Yes, and it does. Like that's a big thing because like I did it, right? Like when you're a business owner, you're like get in the business, and then all of a sudden you get the business, and then you're like busy for a while, and then it's like it starts to, trickle down a little bit, and you're like, okay, now I got to go back and do that. And that's the prime example of like that's why you got to replicate your efforts and get a salesperson, right? That
Right.
can replace you, because then you're leading, you're managing crews and all that stuff. That's where you got to really get that salesperson to follow what you were doing to keep that pipeline full.
Right. Definitely. Long as you're in the field, long as you're in the truck, long as you're doing sales, it's gonna still continue to be hard to continue to grow the business the way that you want it to grow. So you definitely got to have time to take away to do other things for the business.
Yeah. And it's hard to do. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, man, I want to do it all in the beginning, but it's very hard to do when you got to hire people, strategically do it. So I want to add this right here. So bam, we have the marketing system. So you remember I put out, shoot, we were doing 40,000 clip flyers a month. A
Yep.
month. It was crazy. And we had obviously salespeople and stuff like that. So what I always talk about is like gearing up, right? Gearing up for March, because March hits, we hit the ground running. We're already pre-booking March. But like you said, it starts in January, starts in December to get your marketing plan going. And then it's actionable items, right? That you laid out for you and your team to start putting out the yard signs, because that doesn't happen overnight. You can't go put 100 yard signs out one person, right? It
Nah,
takes
you can't.
time.
Takes time. Yeah.
And so what was that mindset for you? Is like, we know we got to put it out. So for guys that are watching, I'm just trying to get them to be like, all right, I got a Goya, right? I got the Goya sign right in the back over here. I'm like, I got to get off my ass and I got to go put this stuff out, make it happen. So what'd that look like for you?
Man, really the battery in my back, man. I was already motivated, but when Greg Cardone dropped that book, the 10X rule,
Yes.
um, man, I just went crazy. You know what I'm saying? I just went into tunnel vision. Like, when you really focus on something and trying to get somewhere, you really have to eliminate a lot of stuff around you that you used to do in order to get somewhere you're trying to go. So um, I called up my boy Dave over there at Dope Marketing, and
Yes.
got a whole shipload, like 1,000 something road signs, and he had them dropped off in my mom's front yard.
Yes.
And I was just like, hey man, I went live and I was like, yeah, let's get it. It's time. You know what I mean? I was like, I'm gonna be on every corner, everywhere you look, I'm gonna be there. Um, Even when, I faced adversity with people down in what I was doing, they was taking my signs down. I had other power washing companies taking my signs and talking junk about me, and I would still just go back and keep putting my sign out, keep putting my sign out.
Yup.
I was like, it's all good. You mad? I'm gonna make you madder. All right, you took down one, I'm gonna put up 10. Like,
Yes.
so it was just, you know what I mean? The doubt of people just believing that, my company could be something great is what really had me like, nah, like I got this. Like, let's go. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Just really tunnel up.
I love that, man. Yeah, because that's the mindset is like people, the naysayers, right? Like we'll have yard sign wars with, other companies, and you make it fun because we did the half yard signs. They were smaller, so every time they would put out a big one, I'd be like, "Oh no." And I'll put two out to their one, you know what I mean? And it's just you got to have fun with it. But at the same time, it's like you got to get your message out. You have to be there when they're ready to buy. Period. So it's like it's that grit that you had was like, let's go. It's go time. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to do it. And some people are like, well, I don't want to throw clip flyers because it's litter and all these things. And I get it. Don't get me wrong, but the thing about it is you're getting in front of them and they're going to be there when you are ready to buy or when they're ready to buy.
Right.
And it's just massive action, and you don't have to do it forever, right? You do it when you get into a market or you go into a new zip code, and then you literally can back off because other things work. And
Right.
have you found anything like that? I know you said you were doing Facebook and you're doing those kinds of things. Like as you started going, you kind of get a feel for other things working, and then you throw some more marketing dollars towards that.
Right, definitely. They advertise my company a lot on Nextdoor. Um,
Yes.
that's within the neighborhood, and a lot of HOAs. We have a do a lot of work with HOAs, so that helps out a lot. And then they have different groups like football moms,
Yes.
moms of Clayton or moms of Rocky
Dude,
Mount.
those mom groups are crazy.
Yeah, yeah, they are. Yeah. So they get the word out, and they call
Yes.
and they like, hey, I'm part of the moms of Clayton, and they were talking about you got this house wash going, and we need to get a house done, and I got 20 more ladies that need the house done. So that's always good. You know what I mean? Once you get a foot in, man, and you do a good job, it's pretty much um uphill from there. You know what I mean? You got your uniforms together, you got your trucks together, you got your employees together. You're looking good. You do a good job. They guarantee to spread the word.
Yeah. No, if you can get them on your side, man, there ain't nothing stopping you on those Facebook groups with the moms. It's crazy. But that goes into it. Like you said, right? You went back to your customer list. You had 3,000 customers. You're constantly pouring into that list, calling, like actually talking to them, and they appreciate that because they get busy. Homeowners get busy, property managers get busy, and you got to be the squeaky wheel to get the oil by reaching out, by sending a postcard, right? We usually do 4 touches. So we have this PowerPoint right here, and I'll actually show you how we build it out. And you've seen this before. Um, but we've built this out and it looks like this. And it's a whole marketing board. And it looks way different now, but it's kind of come a long way. But we have our niches and then we figure out how many touches we need throughout the year to touch our clientele base. And it's basically a digital, you can do it digital, you can do it in your face. I like it in your face because I'm a big hands-on person. And so you can do a digital marketing plan, but you literally will put on there when your next truck is, you know what I mean? Like when you're getting your next sales car, what the postcard's going to be that you're mailing out. So the whole team knows what's going on. And this was huge for us because it just kept us on track throughout the year because, you get all kinds of things going on. You might have a truck that was messed up, a team, you know what I mean, that you're really trying to pour into to move up to the next thing. And so with this, it just kept us on track. It kept us aligned on our goals that were right in front of our face. And I know you're real good on goals too. So what are some things that you did kind of like with your goals and putting them in front of you?
Um, well, as far as my goals, I used to have this notebook that I would keep and put all my stuff in. Um,
Yes.
Now we do the maps on the wall, doing everything by zip codes, um, really preparing for new trucks to go out on the road for the season. Those things are prepared, before the season comes in. So we're looking at the whole season as a whole. Um, but pretty much that's pretty much it, man. You know what I mean? Just getting ready before the season. having all my ducks in a row. Um, that's it.
I love it, man. But that's it. Like, have it in front of you, have a notebook that you can pour all your ideas, your thoughts into that you can execute on. I would definitely encourage you to take it to the next level, put it up on the wall. That helped me a lot. We had a little bar graph that we would circle bubbles in. So all my goals for the month, like if I wanted to be at $80,000 this month, I
Yeah,
had little bubbles that I would literally fill in, and they might be $1,000 bubbles, they might be 5,000, whatever you want, but some way to track it that you can see and the whole team can see as you're scaling throughout that year. So that's really good.
okay, yeah, I like that.
Just little things that are in front of you, because we get lost, you know what I mean? Like throughout the season, you're getting busy, you're out there and you're just strive to get the work done, but then you're not able to focus. That was my issue growing the business, was like I just got bombarded, I guess you'd say, right, by the business itself of working, getting the jobs done, going out on site, and then I would slack on my sales part.
Right.
So what I really did was I laid out 12 months. I highlighted holidays and bursts of marketing that I was going to put out. I put a dollar amount for each week and month that I wanted to do each week and month. And I broke it down even to daily. So we would we would go to the sales board, and I had my sales team do this. And if they didn't hit their goal, we had a red marker, and then we had a green marker for when they hit their goal. And everybody hated picking up that red marker if they didn't hit their goal. And so it's just a good reminder, you know what I mean, to keep everybody on track.
Yeah, that's definitely a good tool right there.
Yeah. And we would make, big pushes. Looking back at previous years, the more the better. And I think that was cool too, because like you can literally, we tracked everything. I tracked how much SH we were using per job, how many miles we were driving for routes. And I started this, obviously didn't come until way later. I had mentors and people were like, wait, you're doing what? And I'm
Yeah,
like, yeah, we're driving all over the place right now. And they're like, no, 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 you need to do this. And I was like, shoot. So we started saving like in gas, because you got to pull that money out of the business or it's going to suck it. We
yeah,
know that, right? Like trucks, equipment, team members breaking stuff, right? So I had to get real, I don't know, tight, if you will, on my numbers and tracking. And so, when you were growing your business and you were going in there, what were some of the things that you started tracking right out the gate, would you say?
definitely SH.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely SH and gas. Like I said, we target certain areas, so certain homes we knew that it would take a certain amount of SH. You know what I mean, on each home.
Hmm.
Same thing with saving on gas, with breaking it down to the zip codes. Certain days we have, like on Fridays, it might be, hey, we in a certain zip code, Durham, on Fridays. So
Hmm.
all day Friday, we have two trucks in one zip code, all just hitting all those houses. The next day, we're in another zip code. Instead of,
Nice.
in the beginning, it would be um, 20-minute drives, 30-minute drives in between jobs. There was a lot of wear and tear on the car and on the employee as well. A lot of driving throughout the day.
Yeah.
Um, what
Yeah,
else?
it definitely adds up. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely adds up, man. Tracking that, tracking what else was it tracking? All, the employees, they break stuff, so that's something that you got to be ready for that. So always tracking that. They would lose, they lose guns, surface cleaners. Um, man, I had guys that didn't scrap the ladder down properly and it fell off on the highway. Um, man, like I done seen some stuff over the years, man.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. I was like, if you put all our stories together, dude, oh my word, right?
Yeah. I done had some stories over the years, man. So yeah, tracking all that stuff though, man. Even down to the smallest thing like O-rings. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? All that stuff matters. Um, but
Yes.
yeah, that's the way to keep it going.
Yeah, we even took it like we had to. have toolboxes. So we went to Lowe's and they had like the Husky. It might be Home Depot. I don't remember, but it was a Husky toolbox and it had all the little things. And we literally took the label maker and we said O-rings, right? 1/4 inch, 3/8. We had everything lined out and every truck was a different color. Because when we started getting into 5 and 6 trucks, dude, I don't know how I still got my hair, man, because they were stealing stuff off trucks. They were, you know what I mean, leaving full gas cans at the gas station. No
Oh
lie.
man.
You know what I mean? It's like, where is your head, dude?
Yeah, man.
But those are things you got to do when you start scaling. Is like you got to, and again, it comes from experience. But hopefully, you learn a lot from this podcast, right? It's
Oh
like
yeah, definitely.
learn from our mistakes, right? But that's the reality, man. I didn't know, right? We didn't know until you do it. And then you're like, shoot, now I got to problem solve that thing. I gotta reverse engineer this. What does a $3 million company look like? What does a $10 million company look like? And you really got to build this thing and you got to reverse engineer it. So it's like simplicity scales, and I seen guys, and you've seen it, right? With people driving Mack trucks to clean houses.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I've been there.
what? You were doing that?
Pull up in an 18-wheeler.
You're like, I'm going to show them.
Yeah. 18-wheeler with 3 power washers, a hot unit, a roof unit, a ladder rack, 4 ladders. Hey, a 500-gallon water tank. And the house is this big. You're going to wash.
And you're like, what am I doing, right?
Can't even pull in the driveway.
Yeah. Oh, man. Good times, man. Good times.
Yeah,
but look,
man.
like that you want to show up as the best. You want to look the best, right? But in reality, like we do these things and then we're like, shoot, we just spent $100 in fuel. You know what I mean? Pressure washer in the truck.
Yep.
And then we got a small house that we're doing for, you know what I mean? Like $500. And at the end, you're like, shoot, I didn't make any money.
Yep.
And so it's like you really got to reverse engineer this stuff, make it easy. The skid's got to be so easy that, my 11-year-old son can go and soft wash a house, right?
Exactly.
That's the way we kind of wrote our manuals, was like, not that people, you know what I mean? Not saying that they're dumb by no means, but simplicity scales.
Right.
And you want it to be easy for somebody to literally read, pick up, and go to work, right? And train lead techs in 3 weeks.
Right. I got that from that. I read a book about McDonald's, and that's basically.
Oh no. Got you back. Uh-oh, it cut out, but you're good. You're back now. Might have went off. Shoot. Yeah, I can't hear you. No sound. Come back. Like go, like log out and then come back in. I think because you got a call or something. Yeah, come back in. Perfect. So what we're going to do is while he's coming back in, it's like you got to make predictions. You know what I mean? Like when you can look back at years past, like we know we're in an election year, right? So reality is if you got less than 5 trucks, it's not going to affect you. That's the reality. So you need to be out there hitting property managers, doing cold calls. You need to be getting your brand out there. And, Brandon has an amazing brand that he puts out there that's memorable, right? I always talk about how you got to be memorable out there, and it will work. You just got to have the Goya to get out there and make it happen each day, because this isn't something that you can put on autopilot. You got to replace yourself. You got to fire yourself, right? Work your way up in the company and have it scale. And that's what you need to do to really make it happen. All right, we got you back, man.
There we go. I can hear you now.
Perfect. Sweet.
Okay, yeah. So I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about, man?
Shoot. So I don't even know. I don't remember. But we're talking about making predictions now. I think we were talking about like simplicity scales,
Oh yeah. I had read a book about McDonald's.
That's right.
How they broke it down, like you were saying. A kid should be able to run it. You know what I mean? Not to say that they're um, not smart or anything, but it should be so simple that you can pick the book up, read it, and it be simple. You know what I mean? And be able to run a business. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like it's nothing. It shouldn't be hard at all. Um,
Yes.
After I read that book, things got simpler for me for the business. I started going from pulling up in this 18-wheeler power washing system to some small compact, getting smaller trucks. You're hooking up to that water anyway, so you don't even need a 500-gallon tank. You can pull up with a 100-gallon tank or a 200-gallon tank. You know what I mean? Just learning, over the years, going to conventions, it made it easier to be able to run the business than it was in the earlier years.
Yeah. And that's the way it rolls is like I've always said this is like you build it like McDonald's, but you run it like Chick-fil-A,
Oh yeah,
right?
yep.
And the way McDonald's did it, dude, they drew it on a basketball court, right? Like that. This takes me back to my trailer park days, dude. We're playing ball, and you drew how you were gonna, invent the kitchen, how it went, and they choreographed how that would work, flipping burgers, and then boom, bringing it to the patties, and it was like put the bread on, put two pickles. And they literally had it down to a system. And that's the way you want to build your business is a cash machine. You want to put in $10 in this pocket, and then you want $20 to come out at the end,
Right.
you know? And I think a lot we get lost in the weeds of like, no, I got to do it. Nobody can do it better than me, right? Or we got too much competition. Dude, how many McDonald's is around each other?
Everywhere.
Everywhere, right? So the honest opinion or honest answer is you just want the piece of the pie. There's enough work to go around. And so, you get guys on there, they're like, well, that won't work in my market. And I'm like, we can go anywhere. You drop us
Yeah.
anywhere, dude. You're
I'm
like, dude,
gonna die.
I'm bringing roses and I'm getting business tomorrow.
That's for sure. I'm gonna make some money. That's for sure.
That's right. But it's having that mindset of like, you can drop me off anywhere in the country. I can go use what I know now, right? With the way we talk, with the presentation, with who we know who to talk to, the getting through the gatekeeper, finding those decision makers and making it happen. So with that being said, with your business, what are some things that you think you might be changing up to improve on, especially like reading a book like that? What do you think some adjustments would be for you?
Getting better systems in place.
Mhm.
Improving, moving forward for the future. Um, I think that's one of the biggest things. Like you said, with the getting ready for the season, I could be planning a lot better for moving forward for the future. Um, I got in to be honest, I got in a real, how you put it, stuck in the same place. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Got kind of bored with it. You know what I mean? So I had to
yep.
start doing some other things um, to get more ideas in order to grow. You know what I mean? Over the years, you do it
Yeah.
so much. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh man, you get tired. Like you said, you be in the field. You're always working. You're always trying to make it happen. So um, just planning accordingly for the future.
I love that, man. Because you're right, dude. It is a grind. And you see business owners, you see teammates, they get burned out right around that October area, right?
Mhm.
Every year they're burned out around October. And it's like, if you have a solid plan, like what we're talking about, right? Staffing up, if marketing is going out. And this is what I really encourage people to do is like build out your 12-month plan. If you got to go online on Google, this is a simple thing that anybody can do tonight is go on Google and print out 2024's calendar months, January, February, March, April, May, June, the whole year, and go through each month and figure out how many good days you have, right, in a month. Because the reality is you're not going to work 30 days in a month, right?
Right.
So you figure out weather patterns, you figure out, what you did last year in the month of March. And then you reverse engineer your year, because obviously we're in an election year. So people aren't going to be thinking about cleaning. Some people are like, let's hold off this year, right? Let's see how it goes. But the reality is you need to whip them in the pants, right? And get them to clean this year. So how are you going to do that? It might be changing up your message. What worked last year may not work this year. So it's all in tracking. So go back to your whole year, reverse engineer it, and make sure it's going to work and you and the team are happy with it, right? Like, I even got my wife involved. We would do it. She's like, nah, she's always my security. She's like, nah, we better not do that. Hold back a little bit, right? And I'm like, all right, good. Because
Cool.
I'll go all out,
Right.
And so it's a good balance to have, because sometimes as entrepreneurs or visionaries, we're all in, but all in could be bad, right?
Right.
So it's good to have that person, that backing behind you. Cause like, I know for me, man, I wouldn't be where I'm at today without my wife. 1000%. She pushes me.
That's what's up.
So, oh yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I said that's what's up. That's what's up.
And we're at 9:30, man. So we want to we're up just a little bit, so I'm going to add a little bit more value. We got a bunch of people on here, dude. They're eating it up. They're like, dude, Brandon is bringing the fire.
That's
so
what's up.
We appreciate you, man. So I'm going to add this in right here. So big thing, guys, is staffing up. And I know, Brandon, you've done this multiple times. So let's talk about staffing up, right in here. It's time to run ads right now. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, definitely. You can't, definitely don't wait until the weather really changes to do that, because you're going to be in over your head. The people they got to get trained, they got to know what they're doing, and they got to be ready for the season. I talked to one of my guys the other day, and he was like, "Man, I like, what's up, man? How you doing today?" He's like, "Man, I just got done doing some push-ups, man." I'm like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "Yeah, it's gonna be a hot summer, and I gotta be ready." So I was like, "Okay, that's what's up, man. I like your determination, man." So, yeah, staffing up, you definitely got to be ready.
Yes. Yeah. Because it's going to come. The work is going to come. And so right here, just a little shameless plug, if you will. We got Sales Boost going on, and we have a bunch of viewers on. So if you guys are interested in Sales Boost, Brandon, we want you out this year, by the way. So we're going to talk after this for sure. It's going to be in Williamston, North Carolina this year. And so we're going to be touching on a lot of these things, right? Building out the marketing calendar, doing the marketing, hiring, because you are going to get business this year by attending Sales Boost. There's going to be a lot of stuff I've implemented, a lot of stuff JC. So we actually have a couple things, but we have a scholarship program too. So if you were like, dude, I want to go to Sales Boost, the money's not there right now, look, reach out to me, please, because we want you guys there. We want our industry to succeed. We want you to succeed. And so that's what it's all about. So today on Community with Closers, I'm going to be paying for somebody's ticket. So we want them,
Nice.
one person on the call, just reach out to me. I'm going to be paying for your ticket to go to Sales Boost this year. But we want to do things for a lot of people this year. We want to serve at a high level. So we'll definitely talk, Brandon, after the call, because I want you there for sure, man. You got a lot of value to share at Sales Boost. So
I'll be there. I'm right here in Raleigh, North Carolina, man. I'll be there.
Perfect.
Anybody that's listening, this is a great opportunity. I've been to a few of conventions with Pat over the years. This is my 13th, 14th year in the business. And you gain a lot of insight. And I guarantee if you go to this Sales Boost, when you leave, you're going to be looking at the industry a lot different. You're going to be ready. You're going to be motivated. And you're going to go out there and straight kill it for the season. Your breakthrough season is now. So take it by the horns and really take off with it. It's going to be a great event.
Well, I appreciate that, man. It's been a joy and an honor, man, to like speak at events. I never ask for anything. I do it for free because that's what it's all about, is giving back, helping people, because it comes back tenfold. You know what I mean? If anything, I've seen that just with, great friendships like yourself. You know what I mean? Like, we could reach out. Shoot, we've known each other for probably 10 plus years. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's really good stuff. All right. So last question, man. So we want to drop some value with everybody. So I usually ask everybody at the end there, what's a nugget that you can give somebody starting out in business? What's some tip you would say that you can give somebody to like crush it this year?
If they paying, I'm spraying, and it ain't no delaying. You got that? Hey.
Dude, I love
Hey,
it. I
hey,
love it.
don't let nobody take your determination, man. You get out there and get it. You know, people going to talk about you, they're gonna knock what you do. But long as you believe in your company and you believe in your dream and what you're doing, then the sky is the limit. You know, like Pat said, if you put in the work, people they're gonna call. You know what I mean? The business is gonna be there. Get up every day. Like it's your last, you know what I mean? It like, hey, you going out, wake up, hey, I can make $1 million a day. Like have that attitude every day when you waking up, you know what I mean? Have a good attitude, good chip on your shoulder, and you know you're gonna have a great season.
That's right. Boom. Mic drop right there. Well, dude, Brandon, I really appreciate it, man. It was a pleasure having you on. Definitely going to see you at Sales Boost this year. I'll reach out to you right after the show, and we're going to get you there, man. But like I said, anybody on the call, reach out to me. We got a scholarship program, and I'm paying for somebody's ticket tonight to go to Sales Boost. So let's get you there.
That's
All right,
what's up.
have it. All right. Well, we'll see you, Brandon. Everybody, have an amazing night. Thank you for joining Community with Closers. We'll see you next Wednesday, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, right here live, baby.
All right, Pat. Have a good night, brother.
All right,
Thanks.
man. You too.